Hi everyone, welcome back to Accounting 1. We're working on Chapter 2 and we are now in Lesson 2-2. Remember, you'll click on NGL Sync to be able to access the Mind tab. You'll come to Chapter 2, you'll click the Expand All or the Caret button, and we are going to work on 2-2. There's a lot of animated videos in here that you can work on um, so that you can understand what's going on. So let's start with the lesson. Click here and it pulls up the book. In this section, we're going to analyze transactions into debit and credit parts, um, analyze how transactions affect accounts, received cash from owners investment, paid cash for supplies, paid cash for insurance, bought supplies on account, paid cash on account, and end of lesson review. Now remember, these are going to walk you through exactly the ones that they give us in this lesson, like to practice with. And also, you're going to click right here and you can get the full book, and like it splits your screen if you need additional help during the lesson when you're practicing. Okay, so we received cash from the owner as an investment. So the two accounts that are going to be affected are cash and Michael Delgado Capital. So that's our first question that we ask are what are the two accounts that are effective when we received cash from an owner as an investment? And remember, it has to be two accounts and there has to be a debit and credit part of each account. There cannot be two debits, there cannot be two credits, there has to be a debit and a credit. So in this case, cash and Michael Delgado Capital, he invested $2,000. So we increased cash with a debit of $2,000 and we increased capital with a credit of $2,000. So both are increasing, but we do have a debit and a credit, and the amounts are equal. Okay, we paid cash for supplies. So the two accounts that are affected are supplies and cash. Supplies are increasing with a debit for $165, and cash is decreasing with a credit for $165. We have a debit, we have a credit, and they are equal. We paid cash for insurance. So prepaid insurance and cash are my two accounts. We're increasing prepaid insurance with a debit of $900, and we are decreasing cash with a credit for $900. There's a debit, there's a credit, their amounts are the same, and so it is in balance. We bought supplies on account. So that will be supplies and accounts payable for Canyon office supplies. So we are increasing supplies with a debit of $220, and we are increasing accounts payable with a credit of $220. We have a debit, we have a credit, and the amounts are the same, so we're in balance and we can move on. We paid cash on account. So this means we're paying Canyon Office Supplies $100 on our account so that we owe them less money. So we are crediting cash $100 to decrease it, and we are debiting our accounts payable $100 to decrease it. There's a debit, there's a credit, each is $100. We're in balance and we can move on. Okay, so click here. It'd be a good idea for you to work on some of these practice transaction analysis, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to the end of lesson review so you can see how it goes. Click on the work together. Okay, so these are our account titles that we're going to use, and these are our transactions. So we're going to start with our our transactions. It says Ginseng Cleaning Service uses the listed accounts. Some of the accounts will be explained in lesson 2-3, but we just need to know what they are. We're going to prepare two T accounts for each transaction. On each T account, we're going to select the account title of one of the accounts affected by the transaction, either the debit or credit amount, and each T account should show the transaction's effect. So to be completely accurate, the debit should always go first. So let's see what we're doing. We received cash from the owner as an investment for $4,000. So our two accounts are going to be cash and our capital account. We're increasing cash with a debit of $4,000. We're increasing capital with a credit of $4,000. See how my my debit is first? Because the debit should always go first. We paid cash for supplies for $95. So the two accounts are cash and supplies. We are going to be debiting supplies to increase it, $95, And we are crediting cash because we paid cash, so we're decreasing cash by $95. One other thing is you can click here. You have to double click, and that allows you to drag it where you don't have to keep scrolling up and down, and it makes it a little bit easier. We bought supplies on account from Supply Depot. So supplies are going to increase, and accounts payable Supply Depot is going to be our credit. So supplies, we're going to debit that $120. So increasing supplies $120. We're increasing our accounts payable $120 by crediting it. On March 6th, we paid cash for insurance. Prepaid insurance and cash are my two accounts. We are increasing prepaid insurance with a debit of $250, and we are decreasing prepaid insurance with a credit for $250. On March 9th, we paid cash on account to Supply Depot. So accounts payable Supply Depot and cash are my two accounts. We are decreasing our accounts payable with a debit for $80. And we are decreasing cash with a credit for $80. Now save and continue. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go through these transactions and work through them, and I'll come back in a minute. So press pause, and then you can check your answers. Okay, so we're back after completing this. So June 2nd, we paid cash. We received cash from the owner as an investment. Debit cash, credit Brian Hiffrey Capital. On June 4th, we purchased insurance for $105 and paid cash. Debit, prepaid insurance, credit cash. On June 5th, we bought supplies for cat. We paid cash for supplies. Debit supplies, credit cash. On June 8th, we bought supplies on account from Plumbing World. We are going to debit supplies and credit accounts payable Plumbing World. On June 9th, we paid cash on account to Plumbing World, so we are going to debit accounts payable Plumbing World and credit cash. Once we're done with that, you can click save and continue. Don't forget you have to click I'm done, great assignment now. And yes, great assignment. Okay, now we can click this X. And we're now going to go down and practice under the review. You may have to click the expand all, and you're going to do application problem 2-2 to practice this. Remember that if you are not comfortable with it, go ahead and come up to these animated activity quizzes. They're not graded, but you'll be able to practice it. And if you have any questions, you're going to contact me. Thanks again.